Brought to you by Jukebox Jams and Mamaroneck Public Radio. Welcome, continuous followers, music aficionados, or just plain curious people to the latest and greatest from Mamaroneck Public Radio. This is Jukebox Jams, a show where we get to interview someone on a song they grew up listening to, learn about its deeper meaning, and see how these golden oldies can impact us nowadays. It could be a nice throwback to the older generation, an introduction to some great hits, or a way to expand our views on what songs can accomplish. Come for the nostalgia, stay for the personal stories and analysis. I'm Roel Jimenez, creator of Tales from the 20s, Rojo the Rapper, and your host in Jukebox Jams, Episode 2. Today, our special guest is a guy who you all might know as the famous proprietor of such beloved products as Chabot Wheats, Trader Chabot's, Burger Chabot, and a couple more we can't say because of copyright. But to most, he is a Spanish teacher from Mamaroneck Public High School. You probably guessed it, Señor Chabot.
Thank you, Roel. I'll have to admit, this choice caused me some stress.
Oh, about what?
Well, it was a good kind of stress since I have a lot to choose from. I have a rough estimate of about a dozen cassettes, 100 or so records, and maybe 1,200 CDs, not counting the ones that I gave away.
Wow, looks like we found the right guy for this show. One episode almost feels like an injustice. With that said, what did you finally settle on?
I took it from the point of view, your question, as a song that impacted my view of music as a whole. For me, that was Rime of the Ancient Mariner, which was the last song off the album Power Slave, and it came out in 1984.
Sounds like the title of a fantasy book. With a name like that, I guess we're in for a treat. I haven't heard of it, though. Who made it?
It was produced by a British rock band called Iron Maiden. They're actually still around. I've seen kids in school and even some in my neighborhood wearing some Iron Maiden shirts, and they still are a very thriving band. So it's cool to see a band of my generation that is actively still touring with all the old members.
Maybe they'll still be playing these songs.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of these guys. I obviously have all their CDs.
To pick this song from dozens they've done in a collection that's already big must mean the song is something special. How did you come about listening to it?
Well, there's a lot that goes into that. People would think that because I'm a Spanish teacher, I would pick something in Spanish. And I do like Spanish music, but I grew up in a rock and country household. My father was really into country music. Also, I was the youngest of 3 kids, and my older brother was a guitarist and into the 70s and 80s bands like Zeppelin and The Who. I kind of idolized him, and that gave me a taste of rock. But it was hard rock. That's probably the thing that comes to mind when you say rock, and lots of in-your-face screaming, electric guitars. My middle brother started branching out into the stuff that was more modern at the time, and that was heavy metal bands, which is also kind of like that. His friends were into heavy metal as well, so I got introduced to it from there, and I liked it. Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Iron Maiden in general was the first song that I think made my taste shift. The thing that stood out to me in that song was that it was 14 minutes long.
14 minutes? That sounds like the song you take a snack break in between.
Maybe. There is a kind of lot to take out of the song. It's the kind of song where you might want to have the lyrics in front of you while you're listening to it for the first time. Before that, I really listened to like radio stuff that was compact, but nothing that long. Only 4 to 5 minutes tops. So at first I thought a 14-minute song was going to be boring.
But I guess if it's your choice for today, it wasn't.
No, not at all. It shocked me that an artist can make a song so long, feel so short, and at the same time tell so much. Because of this song, I started moving more towards progressive rock and bands that did long songs like Yes and Genesis. And I gained a whole new appreciation for that genre, the more complexities in the instrumentation and all that. It even brought me to a band called Queensryche that did an entire rock opera through an album.
That really does sound life-changing. What are some things the song talks about?
I feel like to really understand it, you should know the background. The song was based on a poem by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. He's this poet from the 1770s.
That really makes this a throwback show.
Yeah, this is probably one of his most famous poems. It was called The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. I guess the song is a Cliff Notes version of the poem, which is 88 pages long.
Suddenly, the length feels much more reasonable.
Yeah, there's a lot of ground to cover from it. I don't want to spoil too much because it's really more of a hear it to kind of believe it kind of song. The poem is a tale about a sea adventure and something goes wrong and the captain learns a tale of morality by the end. There are tons of little things you could pick up from this to the point where you might not even need to read the book.
That sounds like one hell of a cheat sheet.
Yeah, on top of that, there's the music itself. It has a lot of shifting dynamics. There are rock sections, quiet moments, shifts in tempo, and the musical themes come full circle outside of just being a good song. There are some really interesting messages about appreciating life, supernatural, committing sins, and the punishments for them, and a lot of other things too.
Does the song based on such an old poem still hold up nowadays?
For the themes alone, sure. But what I really took away from this is that sometimes you might find surprises in strange places. It shows that music is an exploration, and when you step outside of your comfort zone, in my case, I was way more into straightforward stuff, and I gained a larger appreciation for something, and it spiraled into other things. It was interesting to see how a song that long could feel so short. It's kind of like when I teach, and a fun-filled lesson just makes the period fly by, and a boring one could sometimes feels like hours.
I guess with so many options to choose from, picking a bubble of songs and staying with it isn't always the right way to go. Thanks for your story today, Señor Chabot.
More than happy to, Aurel. Hasta luego.
Que le vaya bien. I hope you all enjoyed that episode of Jukebox Jams, and you can check out the rest of the song by listening to what's left on the episode, or listen to it on your own on things like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And while you're at it, check out some of our other review shows on Honestly, like Total Jams by Sam Jones. Thank you all for listening, and remember, stay open, stay curious, and stay tuned.